Hi, I'm Lizzie Harper from www.lizzieharper.co.uk, and along with a lot of other botanical illustrators, I'm busy trying to find a replacement for what was a wonderful hot press botanical watercolour paper. It was called Fabriano Artistico. I've tried a couple of others, in fact I've done another YouTube video comparing them, and today this is a follow-up to that. This is the second part. And today I'm going to be trying two new hot press watercolour papers, Stonehenge Aqua and Fluid. So let's have a look and see how it works out. First up, I'm going to be painting a foxglove onto Stonehenge Aqua. So, what are my feelings about the Stonehenge Aqua hot press? Well, it was very nice to draw on with pencil. It didn't dent too much and you could rub out without leaving a mark. The surface felt nice and hard, it didn't feel fluffy at all. And as I was painting in my watercolours, it was holding every detail, really crisp lines, nothing was bleeding. I was beginning to get really excited. I thought, this is it. This is the new replacement. This is the new watercolour paper we've all been waiting for. It dealt really well with big washes and it took the colour really nicely, and I could do lots of different layers of washes, one on top of the other, without losing any definition. The only slight problem was at the end of my trial, I felt somehow that some of the vibrancy of the colour had disappeared, that it's been soaked into the paper somehow. So although I painted as I normally did, I felt almost like somebody had taken some of the vibrancy out as the paint dried. However, this is a minor quibble, and I'd like to say that generally I'm really excited about Stonehenge Aqua. It reminded me a bit of Arches, but I think I prefer it to Arches. So yeah, it's a good alternative. Next up, I'm going to be trying the Fluid watercolour paper, and I'm going to be painting a sweep. So, what are my feelings about the Fluid hot press? Well, drawing on it in pencil was amazing. It felt so smooth, it felt almost like it was made of china. It showed up the graphite, was really, really beautiful. It rubbed out okay, although it did leave a little mark. It took some rubbing out to make it work. And as I started painting on it, it was lovely. It was one of the smoothest things I've ever painted on. It took every detail. The vibrancy held, everything about it was properly exciting. I was really pleased. And then I came to put my subsequent layers of washes on. So the first couple of layers of washes, they were fine. And then I tend to layer washes more and more. By the third one, it just some of the clarity had got lost. And with the main part of the sweet pea here, when I put a big covering wash on the whole lot, which is how I paint, it didn't lose the detail, but it just did really weird things to the detail. It just didn't work for the big areas of watercolor wash. It lifted the detail and compromised the detail. I was properly gutted about that because I really loved it. Working on it, it felt a whole lot like the Moulin du Roi, which I tested recently. Really crisp and really nice, and I'm definitely going to keep it on hand for watercolors that don't require big areas of wash, because I think it's absolutely perfect, and the vibrancy that it maintains is lovely, and it's a joy to work on. But yeah, for anything with a big area of watercolor wash, I won't be using it. But overall, again, I feel positive about Fluid. I think it's a decent paper, and it's definitely a potential alternative. So, what are my conclusions? Well, overall, I've been really pleased by these tests. I really enjoyed the Fluid watercolor hot press because of its smooth surface and because it was so good with vibrancy and detail. And I really enjoyed working on Stonehenge Aqua hot press because, again, it held detail and it was very crisp, and it didn't blur or change detail when I put lots of watercolor washes on top. So both have got a place in my stable of papers. I'm still not as infatuated with either of them as I was with Fabriano, Artistico or Classico before they changed the recipe or the manufacture process. But you know, I'm happy with both of these. These are good alternatives. Certainly the Fluid would be very good for very detailed watercolor paintings with less watercolor wash, and Stonehenge, I shall interchange that one with Archie's hot press for when I'm doing botanical illustrations for clients and things. I think that will be a decent alternative, although I'll have to bear in mind the issue with the vibrancy of colour. But yeah, it's not all bad news. I'm going to keep on looking, but for now, I now feel there's Stonehenge Aqua, there's Fluid, there's Arches, and there's Moulin du Roi. All of them are perfectly good alternatives to the Fabriano, Artistico and Classico, and I think we can all take some encouragement from that. Thank you very much for watching my video comparing watercolour papers. For samples of my work, please visit www.lizzieharper.co.uk.